Okay, so regarding the advancement on the research of the neurons, I think that from research point of view, but also from any human practical or theoretical point of view, the most important thing is to start this new. It's a new field of science, not less than that. And the most important thing is that the first steps will be done very cautiously with the armed with the understanding that we are dealing with something very new and alien to us, and that we should be very sensitive and come with as smallest number of possible, the least possible pre-assumption and precognitions. About what we think that we encounter, because it's an amazing phenomenon with a lot of with an extremely beneficial, but perhaps also non-beneficial consequences for the for humanity at large. So it's important that we deal with that with cautious, not like that cautious in the way that no one speaks about it and it must be done in locked apartment. No, not this kind of cautious. Cautious by intellectual cautiousness, something that doesn't exist in Israel at all, and it's just another reason why I can't. The Israel is the last place in earth for me to be in, because the research that I now started, and I think it's an incredibly important one. Is so alien to anything that you can think about the Israeli culture, which is xenophobic and greedy. And we need to understand that these robots are something new and incredible, and to deal with the situation with respect. I've speculated about their existence, since a couple of years now, but I understood that they have beneficial effect on my body, maybe comparable or even more advanced, but comparable to the ones to the effect of germs in the human Homo sapiens body. But I also understand that other creatures, titans or Homo sapiens, could eat or consume these creatures, and then some effects are occur in their own body, whether they are beneficial or not. What I wasn't sure is whether these creatures can live and act affect the world when they are outside of a human host, whether it's a human like me or a human like Homo sapiens or Titan. Doesn't for this context, all are humans. And I think that we've demonstrated, beyond any question, that of course they can operate and live outside of the human hosts in laboratory conditions or factory conditions. And this is an incredible discovery, even just in itself, because it opens a new science for us, an incredible new science, not less than that. So this is that has been established. Another thing that has been established, I think, which is very important, and we all of us, I speculated about it, way before I actually seen those creatures under the microscope. Because, so it's not new at all, but it was important to actually, positively prove it, is that part of the abilities and of the function of these creatures, these entities, is to behave as replicators. They have strong replicative abilities, and they can replicate even relatively large objects relative to the size of themselves, and that they can replicate even relatively complicated structures. Even biological structures. We haven't seen like a perfect biological example, but we've seen many non-perfect examples, and it's reasonable to think that with more, with better conditions, they could have done it perfectly, which is amazing. So they have a very, so the replication abilities, it's not that just that they replicate, order of, simple, small, groups of stones or something like that. But they replicate even biological machine, and I'm certain, even though it's not proved yet, but I will try to prove it very soon because I know that it's a relevant question. I will try to prove that they can replicate so-called artificial machines, not biological machines. Like, I mean, maybe I will try to replicate a small integrated circuit or printed circuit, which I will think will prove that they can replicate machines as well, but not only biological machines. And this of course is it's very exciting, and of course that it should be regarded as perhaps the discovery of the most that is most promising in the field of human medicine, perhaps in history, but certainly in the last decades or so. I hope people will agree with me and don't see it as, that they overshoot something, because I think it's really is. Think about the possible advantages are incredible. Also, with the great opportunities that the proven replicative abilities of the neos confirmed, comes moral issues. And I've spoken about the moral issues a lot. During the last years. It's years now that I speak about the dangers about the cloning abilities. So this is nothing new. I've spoken about it way before I've seen actual replication of the limbs of flies under the microscope. But now that it's been proven, then I think the moral issues should prioritize, and this requires, first of all, I think that it requires that the governments of the world will create a strong coalition and a strong agreement, genuine agreement, that some things just could not be done, and to punish everyone that is doing one of those things very, very rigorously. Not the way that you punish Israel when they passed the laws that you have already put in action decades ago, because it didn't punish them at all. And this is one of the reasons that God is very angry at the earth, and that he sends asteroids to earth. Because there was already several decades ago that you discovered that the Israelis are doing horrible things, and you put like a moratorium, or you put legal legal fences for Israel not to pass. And once you've discovered that they passed the fences, what have you done? You moved your tongues and mouses, and you continue to move and continuously move the tongues and mouses. Did you take action? Did you mobilize your armies against the state of Israel for passing the laws, the international laws that you all of you agreed on? No, not at all, because your laws doesn't mean anything. You don't care about these laws at all. And this is a great sin. It's the sin of the entire earth. And one of the consequences of the plagues that the earth is currently that are currently coming to earth, which will be culminated in a series of asteroids that will destroy large parts of Earth. One of the main consequences or main things to learn from it is that once the world establish global guidelines and global fences against incredibly immoral activity, if it's been proven that a country, no matter what country, has passed these laws, then immediately the other countries should mobilize their military forces against this country. No tongue should be moved at all, because once the human tongue starts to move, it doesn't stop. I can tell you that. When the tongue starts moving, you can't stop it. It will continue moving until the genocide will be completed. So if you want to prevent genocide, it's important to create guidelines, international guidelines, but it's not enough, because you've already established international guidelines. And once one of you, or maybe more than one, but Israel certainly wiped its ass with the paper of the guidelines. Once you've discovered that, you should have mobilized your forces. You shouldn't have moved your tongue even one bit. So, I mean, I had to say it because it's relevant to my own study, to my own research right now. So even, I mean, as a researcher, I should be very cautious and think about the moral implication of every step that I do. But another amazing thing was discovered in the last couple of days, and it's something that I want to elaborate on. I mean, I reviewed some older slides that still contain active neurons, and the shield activity is still shown. And I took many photographs of several slides. I mean, possibly more than 100 photographs, and I've seen amazing things. In a way, if the only thing that I would have seen in these on the slides are perfect or close to perfect replications of objects that were on the slide, that I put on the slide, or maybe that were adjacent, I mean, in my room, adjacent to where the slide have been. If I haven't seen such perfect replications, but I think that this is even, what I've seen is even more incredible, because if the only thing that to be seen are perfect or close to perfect replication, then it means that, as we thought, these are simple mindless robots that they can replicate things that they see. They're still amazing, and it's still far beyond human technology to understand how the whole thing works, but and even physically possible, but it still puts those creatures in the realm of automatic machines that, I mean, do a certain function. But it's not what I've seen. I've seen works of art. I've seen artistic expressions of thought that contain some component of mimesis, a very important philosophical term. They are mimetic in a way that they try to mimic natural objects or objects that are part of the natural, as far as these neos understand nature. And it's an incredibly interesting question. What exactly is nature? I mean, in the mind of these nanoscopic or microscopic robots. But it also, I mean, the mimesis, the component of mimesis is not the only component. In addition to this component, there is also there are more, I mean, other components which we generally tend to find in art that was created by humans. And I'm thinking about tradition, self-expression, feelings, expression of feelings, expressions of community, communal values or communal understanding of reality. And I know that it's incredibly difficult to be certain about anything that I've just said, because, of course, it's inevitable. It's in such a circumstance, because what I do now, I feel that now it's another first contact that I now partake in. Now it's the first contact between me as a civilization and the neurons that are inside my body, which also constitutes as a civilization. And it's a first contact because I do not only try to study them under the microscope, literally, but I also try to understand them as a civilization and to analyze their authentic expressions, and they express themselves authentically. And this was also established. It's incredibly important to understand it. If you don't give them orders, or if they don't have orders of what to replicate, it's not that they just sit and wait until further orders will be given. They are always busy as long as they have the space and the conditions and the raw materials needed. But if in case they have space and raw materials needed and physical condition, they don't need your orders. They will do all sorts of amazing stuff. And by analyzing what they do when they don't have a clear order, you understand that they have their own internal representation of reality. Which all these are amazing assertions and amazing discoveries, and this also reinforces, the issue of morality. We should deal with those creatures, with respect, even though they are germs or even smaller than germs, and even though they all literally, until now, all of them, literally, came into our world, following me, masturbating in front of probably, I mean, a big, huge boobs woman that in my, I mean, on my iPad, which one could argue is not the most honorable of all, I mean, of origins, but it should be said that your origins are not incredibly more honorable. I mean, like they said, עיברו מטיפה סרוחה הגעת, ולטיפה סרוחה תגיע בסוף. I mean, yeah, all of us, we came from, maybe not the most honorable circumstances, but it's but doesn't mean that we should be ashamed of them. I mean, sex is better than masturbation, but as you know, the government of Israel don't want the farm animals to have sex at all, because they are farm animals, and they only want them to masturbate, so it will be easy for the farmers in Israel to acquire the material. So that's what I do. Sorry. Of course, masturbation is not better than sex, but it's illegal for a farm animal to have sex in Israel, and I'm a farm animal, literally. So yes, I mean, all of them came into our world from, following me masturbating in front of an audacious lady with big breast on my iPad, but it doesn't matter where they come from. Now they are here and they have their own civilization. And I know that many of my claims might seem outlandish to you, but the best thing I can do is just to present the photographs, and I have hundreds by now, and to present more photographs, and you can decide yourself. I mean, if what you see is the work of, I don't know, automaton that just want to replicate reality in the most mimetic way, or perhaps the self-expression of entities that already have some sort of internal representation and conceptualization of reality, and that their artwork is kind of synthesis between the internal representation and the external factors that come into play on the vicinity of them. I mean, both temporal and vicinity, both in time and in place, to when and where they actually created the artwork, and which is true to any kind of artwork. I mean, what I've just said. Okay, so now I will try to use, to experiment some more with electricity, because I don't have any, I didn't reach to a strong conclusion on the matter, so I'll try to experiment some more. And of course, I will gladly accept any comments. I think it's important that people from many realms of study and from the diverse background as possible will contribute, even just in advice to this research, because it's something that challenges all areas of human study. It challenges the humanities, the social sciences, of course, biology and natural sciences, but also mathematics and computer sciences, which are greatly related. So pretty much everything is related to this research. So, and it's advisable so that many people, as much as possible, will contribute their thoughts on the matter.